friends! Okay, so today I'm super excited. I hope this video isn't too long, but I just got through talking about all of my makeup favorites from 2016, and I kind of do like a get ready with me using all my favorite products, and hopefully through this you'll find some new products that you love too. And so if you want to see how I did this, then keep on watching. So first, I have already moisturized my skin, and that was with the Philosophy Take a Deep Breath Moisturizer. And it's oil-free. And it smells really good. It's kind of like green. I don't know if you can tell, but it just like has a refreshing kind of like spa scent. So I really like it, and it's also it's very hydrating. And I do have my eyelids get really dry in the winter, and so I've been putting this on my eyelids, and that's been helping a lot. So I really like this moisturizer. So I've already done that, and now I'm going to put on my primer, and this is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer, and this really helps to fill in my pores, my fine lines. So I like to use it like in this area up here, and down here and around my nose where I have larger pores, to help create a more even surface there, so my foundation will go on more evenly. And it's also, I mean, it's e.l.f., so it's really affordable. I mean, I think it's like $4 at Target maybe, and so I really like this a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. And it's kind of like a silicone-y like texture. I also really like this product because it has a pump, which just makes it that much more sanitary to put on and stuff. Alright, so that is the primer. Next, we're going to go into color correctors that I use throughout the year. So we have the Essence Say No to Dark Circles and Say No to Redness. And this one corrects blue tones, and this one corrects red tones. So this one would be for like under eyes, and this one for any like, if you have like rosacea or just any general redness, so I could get kind of red up here up in times and on my chin, but also if you have any like acne and stuff like that, so that'll cover that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this here. And I'm just gonna blend this out with my finger. And then redness, so I'm gonna put some here and around my nose, and maybe a little on my chin. And these they're really blendable, and I really like them because they're super affordable. So if you've never done any kind of color correcting before and you think that might be interesting, or maybe you want to give it a shot, but things that you've seen are really expensive and you just don't want to make that much of a commitment, both of these are only $3. So it's very low commitment if you get it, and it, you know, maybe you don't need it as much as you thought, or maybe, you know, those exact colors don't work out for you. So I like it because they're really affordable. So I look kind of ghosty right now in the middle, but that's okay because essentially we're creating a more balanced canvas for the foundation. So I'm going to go in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect. And this is supposed to be a 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. And I'm in the shade that I have is shade 01. And this has always been by itself a little too dark for me. So I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me in shade 112 to lighten this up a bit. But I'll be honest, this one by itself I don't really like very much. It's just too light and watery, and it really like enhanced dryness on my face. So I don't like this one for me by itself. But these together work really well. And actually, when I was looking up, I was doing a little research for this video, I saw on Milani's website that they have a new shade on 00 coming out. And I think you can buy it on their website, but I didn't see where it was available like in stores yet. So I am looking forward to giving that a try because this foundation is really good. I like it a lot. It has a nice thick consistency, but it's only $10. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just got way too much of this. It's okay. Okay. And the Milani one also, it has a pump, which is really nice. Oh my gosh. I have so much foundation. So I put the two on my hand and I just like kind of mix it up. But oh my gosh, see, this is why I prefer a pump, because the other one you just kind of like pour it out, the Maybelline one I mean. So okay, I have a lot of foundation. So all right, we'll just work with it, it's fine. Okay, and I like to do my foundation in like sections of my face, just because I'm always afraid that I'm going to get little like dot lines where it doesn't blend out all the way if it like dries too much. So I like to like just put it on, you know, like my forehead first, and then I'll put it on my cheeks and I'll do the middle. Okay. I have so much foundation. And again, this, what I'm putting on right now, this is the mixture of those two foundations. I always bring a good amount of foundation down onto my neck, just because I really want it to look blended. Okay. So I hope when I try that new shade of the Milani one that it works a lot better, because this one, the Milani one by itself, I mean, it's too dark, and it's a little too yellow toned for my skin, and so if I use it by itself it looks strange, but a lighter shade might work a lot better. And I also like to take it over, you know, a bit into my hairline and over on my ears a bit, just to make sure everything is really well blended. And this sponge that I'm using is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. And I really like that. I was thinking about maybe after this video, doing a video on like my favorite makeup tools. from 2016. Would you guys want to see something like that? If yes, then leave me a comment saying that that's something you'd be interested in, and I can definitely do that. I'm gonna wipe off the rest of this foundation because it's so much on my hand. Okay. All right, so next up, so we've done primer and we've done foundation. Next up we have concealer. And mine and probably multiple people's favorite concealer of the past year was the Tarte Shape Tape. This came out maybe sometime late spring, early summer, something like that. I may have that completely wrong. It doesn't really matter. This is seriously a makeup game changer. I have always had, because I have bad allergies, I have always had really bad dark circles and had the hardest time finding concealers that would adequately cover them and actually stay there and not crease. This is full coverage. I mean, you could use this stuff as a foundation if you wanted to, but it doesn't feel thick and heavy. It feels lightweight, and it oddly smells really good. I mean, not that that's a huge deal, but it does smell good to me. It doesn't crease. It stays all day. There's no fading. It's super easily blendable with a sponge. And it's a little bit more pricey than like a drugstore concealer. So like, I also really enjoy this one, the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I'm not entirely sure on the price on this one, but it is really good. But this one, every concealer I've ever tried, this beats it like 100%. I usually, since I found this, I've kind of stopped doing the color correcting underneath my eyes as much, just because I don't need it that much because it's so full coverage. So this is $24 by itself. I want to make sure I'm saying prices of stuff. But yeah, this is $24, and it's only sold at Tarte's website, so the brand's website, or at Ulta. But it is honestly, most of the colors are usually sold out at Ulta, and I saw that last night when I was doing some research. But I know that all of the colors are currently stocked on Tarte's website. So for both, I'm using the same sponge to blend out both my foundation and concealer, and this is a damp sponge. I didn't mention that earlier. So I'm just blending it out, and I use this. I don't use it so much as a concealer as I do like as part of my like highlight and contour routine. So this is just a bit of a shade lighter than my foundation. And it's got a bit of a yellow tone in it, which is helpful for brightening the under eye. So see, it's just amazing. In my opinion, I'm obsessed with it. You can see I still have a little bit of dryness over here. It is so hard. I literally, before I started this video, I put that moisturizer on maybe like 5 minutes before. It's so difficult to keep them properly moisturized. Now I'm going to set that. So I'm gonna make sure that we haven't got any like wrinkles in it yet, because I do have lines down here. So even though the concealer isn't something that creases, before I set it, I want to make sure that it hasn't clumped into any of my lines down there. So I'm taking, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. This is in the shade Dolce de Leche. And I am going to set my under eye with that. And do the same thing over here. This is another thing that I have been loving. I used to use a setting powder like for baking underneath my eyes, and I found that to be, one, it was messy to do regularly, and two, it was kind of drying. Like it would dry out my under eye area. So I kind of switched to what is kind of like a mini version of baking, is I'm still like packing powder in those areas, but it's not as much. And it's also not as like stark white as my setting powder was, or my baking powder. If you haven't heard of baking, that's a technique that you can use to set your under eye. And I think a lot of drag queens use that. And that's where it came from. But I don't think it's really necessary to do like on the everyday. So I just do kind of like this mini version that works out fine. And I just put that on with the same sponge. And then I will take, this is an e.l.f. complexion brush, and dip into that powder and just go around the rest of my face to set my foundation. Yeah, and I like this because it's not too white. Also, this palette is only, it's $5, and I mean, it comes with a lot of product. I mean, like that's the size of my hand, pretty much, like the palm of my hand. So, and it comes, like I said, it comes with a lot of product, and it's very blendable. So I use this shade here for my contour, and I blend it, or I put it on with the Real Techniques sculpting brush. Okay, and I just go here, and I don't go, like, unless it's like a special event or something, or like I'm gonna have pictures being taken of me, I don't go like super heavy-handed. Granted, this might be more than some of you guys would do, and that's totally fine. You definitely don't need to do this whole makeup routine on your face regularly. I mean, these are things that I found that I enjoy doing, but don't feel like you have to do them, you know, or you won't look good or anything like that. Like, I mean, you know, for myself, I don't feel like I'm someone that needs to wear makeup. I mean, the last 3 days at work, I just was kind of tired in the morning, and so I didn't feel like getting up and doing my makeup, so I didn't. And I'm totally fine with that. So, I mean, don't feel like, oh my gosh, like, Caitlin's talking about so many things that she does, and, you know, now I need to do all of, like, it's not, you don't have to do all of these steps. I'm rambling on too much. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I use it just to blend out my contour lines, and I'll put it down on my neck and my chest some. And I really like this one because it doesn't have any like shimmer or anything like that in it. Let's see if I can see it. There's not really any shimmer. It's just a nice warm tone bronzer that just warms up the outside of my face. So I really like it for that. So I'm following the steps that I usually take to do my makeup, and now is the time when I would usually do my eyebrows. All of those products I mentioned in my eyebrow video, so I can link that. But I'm not gonna take the time to talk about them. So I'm just gonna do my eyebrows really quick. Okay, so I'm back and my eyebrows are done now. So we're gonna move on. So next I would normally do my eyeshadow. So before that, I talked about the Benefit one before, but one that I just absolutely love is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. And this is just a little like mini one that I have. The full size is $20, and this one, the travel size, is $12. I bought this last summer sometime, and usually, I mean, my eyeshadow creases super bad in the summertime because, I mean, it's hot, and my eyelids, you know, in the wintertime they get really dry, in the summertime they get really oily. But this will keep them from creasing, which is amazing, even in the summertime. And it also, I mean, it's super blendable. I mean, you can't fault it for my dry eyelids right now, please. That's not the primer's fault, that's my eyelids' fault. Okay, well, what I was saying about the primer, is that it does a good job of creating a light base for my makeup to go onto, like a white lighter shade base is what I'm trying to say, so that my eyeshadow, when I put it on, it really stands out. But my eyelids right now are just looking so bad, and I'm sorry, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Like, they're so dry. It's okay. But yeah, I very much enjoy this on days when this isn't happening. Okay. So I feel like I have to mention this because I've been so obsessed with it. But I'm not going to use it because it was a limited time thing and it's gone now. So I'm just gonna mention it, and if it ever comes back, you should definitely get it. But I'm not gonna use it. So this is Manny MUA, is a YouTuber. So it's his collaboration with Makeup Geek. And he makes this cute packaging, it's shiny. He made this gorgeous palette with Makeup Geek, and two of the shades, I believe it's these two. Nope, it is this one and this one. Can be, so these two here. This is Frappe and this is Beaches and Cream. The shades are listed on the back here, that's what I'm looking at. Those can be purchased in separate single pans on Makeup Geek's website. But the rest of these, the other 7, are limited to this palette only. And these, I mean, this is like my go-to, like, everyday palette. I also use this, my best friend got married last weekend, and I used this on me, I used it on her, I used it on her sister. We were all, I mean, in the wedding. And it just, you know, it's so easy to create, you know, you can create lighter looks or more bolder looks, you know, with some of these colors down here. And they're super pigmented and blendable, and there's little to no fallout. So I like this palette, but I also just, in buying this palette, I know that I love Makeup Geek shadows as well. And they have a lot of cool colors that you could find on their website to buy as single pans. So that is my mention for this palette. But the eyeshadow that I'm going to use, I'm going to talk about my second favorite. And it's actually 2, but I use them together. So it's these 2 Morphe palettes. This is the shimmer one and this is the matte one. And they're both warm tones. So we've got the shimmer one and the matte one. So you can see that these are, so just looking at that row here, they essentially match up, that this is the shimmer and this is the matte. So I got both of these and being able to use, because I really like these shimmer shades. I had this one first and I got this one more recently. I wanted to be able to have more shades that I could blend up into my crease and have as transition colors that would go with this. So I'm going to start out with the matte palette. So I'm going to start out with blending brush, and I'm gonna go in. I not decided what kind of look I'm gonna do. We're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, and I'm going to put that in my crease. So I'm getting this transition shade here really blended out. I know it looks real wonky right now, but that's okay. Let's go in with this cool kind of like purpley red here. I'm gonna go in with that one. And I still have the same brush. And I'm just going to deepen that crease a bit. And I'm not going too far over because I really want to keep this a bright area. So I'm just adding some more depth. I'm not blending it as much out as I did the first color. I'm keeping it a lot more in the crease. So I'm going with that same color on the other side and just really keeping it in the crease again. I'm going to take a more dense blending brush and I'm going to go in with a darker shade. So I'm going to go in with this one down here in the corner. And I'm just going to put this on my outer corner, both sides. Really creating that kind of like smoky eye look. Adding more dimension. Now I'm going to take a very fluffy blending brush. Let's take this cool kind of like orangey shade up here. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and add that up in here to the transition shade that we had earlier. We have a really cool like burnt orange look, very warm toned kind of neutrals. And then I'm going to take that same blending brush from the first time and I'm going to take a lighter color. So we're going to go with this one here. And I'm going to blend this up so it doesn't look as harsh. What's crazy, so both of these palettes they're $23 each. And they are, I mean, as you can tell, super pigmented. And I am not having, I have very minimal fallout right now. There's a little bit more fallout with the shimmer one, which that makes sense. Just shimmer formulas are a little different. But this is essentially, so you get 30 shades in these big palettes. And it's essentially, so $23, so it's about 75 cents a shade, which is, compared to the Makeup Geek palette, that's about $5 a shade. So huge difference. You get really good quality shades and you get a lot of them for not a whole lot of money. Okay, so now I've got all my matte colors that I want and I'm gonna go into the shimmer palette. And I wanna kind of match the shades a little bit. So I'm gonna go in, I think I wanna do something more gold toned though, rather than orange. But it'll have a bit of an orange tinge to it. And I think I'm gonna go in with this shade here, this gold shade. And it's got a little bit of kind of like a yellow orange to it. And I'm just gonna put that on my lid. It's gonna brighten that up. I'm overlapping it some with the other colors, just to help it look blended. And I think I'm gonna add in just a teeny bit of kind of a dark shimmer. And that's this color here. So I'm gonna take just a flat, usually these are like eyeliner brushes, and I'm gonna take kind of the same shade we used on my under eye. So the rule with this is you want to do half of what you did up here on your lower lash line. If you go too much, you look crazy. Well, maybe not crazy. You'll look like you did too much. I mean, really. If you do not enough, it'll look unbalanced. And if you do more on the bottom than you do on the top, I mean, that's a different look. I wouldn't recommend it. But and then I'm gonna go in this orange and put this here a little bit. And I'm really keeping all of this darker stuff on the outer corner because I really want to use a highlight shade to brighten up my inner corner. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a little bit of that brown. This really helps to add more definition to the eyes. Okay. So now I'm gonna take the shimmer palette again. I'm gonna take off a little bit of fallout. Just brush it away with a powder brush. Take a small, so much stuff when I used it before. I'm gonna take this lightest shade here, and I'll twist it around. And I'm gonna put that on my inner corner. All right, I am good with eyeshadow. Moving on to eyeliner. I have had two that I've been loving, essentially for the same reasons. They're both liquid liners. They're both very black, very pigmented. One is slightly cheaper than the other one. The first one is the Stila Stay All Day waterproof liquid eyeliner, and this one is $22. And then the Too Faced sketch marker, this one is $20. And the Stila one, I don't know about the Too Faced one, but the Stila one, I have taken naps with this before with it on, and it doesn't move. I mean, that was something, you know, like with my quest for finding the best concealer, you know, I've always loved eyeliner and always had the issue of it flaking off or smudging or like running. So like I try to do a wing and it'll like run down the sides of my eyes. Until I found the Stila one and then I found the Too Faced one, I've always had trouble with my eyeliner. So I really like both of these a lot, and I feel like I want to mention both of them because there are liquid ones that I have tried even in higher end brands that I haven't liked a whole lot. I'm going to use the Stila one on this eye and I'm going to use the Too Faced one on this eye. So I'm going to do the Too Faced one first. So I always do this eye first, and if I mess it up, it won't be good. Okay. See, it's very pigmented, and this one is this is a few months old already. Moving on, next, I don't know why I do my face in this order. I kind of break up the face products, but next I move into doing blush and highlight. Now, this is another YouTuber brand collaboration. And this palette is no longer available. I'm so sorry, but the products that I use, you can still get. So this is the Becca X Jaclyn Hill face palette. And I mean, it is gorgeous. It has a huge mirror. So if you can find it somewhere, then I say you should get it. Because it is a amazing value. I mean, just this one shade by itself, I mean, I think when you buy it, you get a bit of a bigger pan. This one shade by itself is $38. And I think this whole palette was maybe $50. So, you know, so if you can find it, you should get it. But this is, this one here, this more pinky colored one, the one that I've used more, that's Champagne Pop. But this is an amazing highlight. I think it looks great on a lot of skin tones. And then the blush that I always use is this one. It's this Pamplemousse. So this one you can get in a single pan by itself. And this one only comes as a duo with this shade. So you can get these two shades together. So it's like a split pan kind of dealio. So I'm gonna go ahead, I put on the blush first. I was just using an e.l.f. brush. It doesn't even tell me what kind it is. It's just, it looks like this. I don't know what kind of brush it is. So I like to start more back here, kind of where I like a little bit above my contour. Because I don't want it to be too much on my cheeks. It'll get up there, but I don't want it to be, I want it to look more even. If you want it all on your, right here, just go for it. It really, you know, if that's how you like doing it, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. Some people like a lot of blush. I don't like a whole lot of blush. So something that I like to do first before I put on my powder highlight is I use this is a stick highlight. You could also use a liquid highlight, whatever. But I kind of use this as like a highlighter primer. Maybe just because I'm that extra, I don't know. But I think it helps the powder highlight last longer. This is from the brand Tracétique. Tracétique? I don't know. Probably French. I never took French. But it's kind of like a champagne-y kind of color. And I just put it right here. And just in those two places. And then I take the side of my still damp sponge and blend it out so it's not just a stripe. And now some people may just like this subtle highlight by itself. And that's totally fine. It's just kind of, you know, like a slight sheen. That's not quite enough for me. So I'm going to take the brush that I use for highlight. This is the Morphe M438. And I'm just gonna take some of this. This is Champagne Pop. And just go right here. And I'm gonna take a small brush, add some to my brow bone up here. And see, it's really, I mean, in my opinion, it's still not super bright. Just add some more life back into the face we just mattified to death. Something that I have just been going to constantly, this is another thing that I wore last weekend in that wedding, is this Tarteist lip paint. It's a darker nude. And I have, oh no. I've been wearing this with almost everything. It's really comfortable. It's not sticky at all. It is obviously a liquid lipstick. But it doesn't feel like drying. It's very hydrating. So I mean, and just this color is like the bomb to me. Maybe it doesn't go super well with this look. But I wanted to mention this just because, I mean, this is like my favorites from the last year, and this is something that I've been wearing a lot. I'm not super sure of the price of the full size of these. Another lipstick that I've been wearing a lot is just the Milani lipsticks. The one that I have is in kind of like a brown shade, and it might go well with this. And it's not as long wearing as this is, but it's very comfortable, and it's very pigmented. And another thing about the Milani one is it wears well. So even though it's not super long wearing, it fades really evenly and doesn't leave you looking patchy. And those are only maybe $5. This is obviously probably a lot more than that. I don't remember how much I paid for the travel size one, but I know the full size ones are somewhere between $18, $22, something like that. Okay, so moving on. I'm gonna do setting spray before I do mascara, because not that this has ever happened to me, but I'm just so afraid that if I put setting spray on right after I do my mascara, then it's just gonna be bad. So my favorite is the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I actually, apparently, when I was looking up last night, have new packaging for this, so it doesn't look like this anymore. It's like a dark purple, and I think it says All Nighter vertically, but I mean, it's still the same stuff. So I really like this. It has a very fine mist, and it keeps everything in place all day, and it does a good job if I'm, maybe too powdery or whatever. It does a good job of like melting it all together so it looks blended and even. I really like this a lot. The full size of this is $31. And I mean, I would say if there's one thing you're going to splurge on, I would splurge on a setting spray, and a moisturizer. Yeah. You want to have a good start and a good finish. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I have two mascaras that I want to talk about. One is the Benefit Roller Lash, which I just have a mini of, and the other one is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I like these both equally, but for different reasons. This one does a really great job of separating my lashes, and it really holds any kind of curl that I put in them. Whereas this one really gives me volume and very like thick, big lashes. So I usually use this on more intense makeup looks, or if I'm gonna like go out like at night or something like that, then I'll use this one regularly, like if I'm gonna go to work or something like that, something where I don't want to look so va-va-voom on my lashes, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna use this one on this side and this one on this side. With both of these, they don't smudge or flake at all. And having good mascaras is important to me because I'm not really a false lash kind of person. I just think if I went to work with false lashes on, people would look at me really weird. I also just don't really want to take the time to do that. And I'm just not very good at it either, like, to be honest. So this is what the Benefit ones look like. I'm gonna put some. I also really like this for lower lashes, because it doesn't load them up with product. Okay, so going over to the Too Faced side. Oh, you see we got a little mascara there on my eyelid. That's okay. All you have to do, if that ever happens to you, let it dry. Give it a few minutes, let it dry, and take a spoolie and you can just scrape it off. It'll be fine. See, that added like a lot more thickness than on this side. I love both of them, just again for different reasons. So I'm gonna take that spoolie real quick, make sure it's fairly clean, like it was never there. And that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of like get ready with me favorites from 2016. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. I would super appreciate it. And if you think this might be helpful for other people, then share it with your friends. And if you like seeing videos that I make, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any ideas, other things you'd want me to do, then please leave a comment. And if you want to follow me on other social media, those are listed down below, my Instagram, my Snapchat, and of course all the products that I talked about today will be linked down below where you can buy them. And I try and always list the cheapest places you can buy it. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.